should expect a Super Bowl feel in this arena here tonight because the biggest superstar in mixed martial arts history, Conor McGregor, is back. The celebrities are out in droves, all of them to see the former two-division UFC champion, the notorious Conor McGregor.
The stars always come out when the notorious one steps in the octagon, and he's earned that right. He is the biggest star in mixed martial arts, not only in mixed martial arts, but in sports across all platforms. One of the best fighters the UFC has ever seen. Not only a great fighter, but a great spokesman, a great salesman, and a guy that people always want to see.
And DC, we know you move that celebrity needle, but you don't move it like Conor McGregor.
Not like the notorious one.
We talk so much about his star power and what he has done for the sport, and rightfully so, that sometimes we don't spend enough time talking about just how skilled a fighter this is when it comes to distance management, the striking skills. We'll see how it goes for him here in the return tonight. Steps inside the octagon and is ready to fight. So here is Dustin Poirier making the walk through yet another big UFC spot here tonight. UFC 236 was his coming out party, DC. He ended Max Holloway's 13-fight winning streak, and in a near-perfect performance in a lot of respects, was able to realize a UFC interim record.
They say diamonds are forever, and so is Dustin Poirier. It seems like he's been here the whole time. We've seen this young man grow up in the UFC. We saw him at 145 pounds have a ton of success, but we've truly seen him come into his own as he's going up to lightweight. He's become a UFC interim champion, and he's beaten guys like Eddie Alvarez, Justin Gaethje, and Max Holloway. One of the best fighters at 155 is Dustin Poirier.
And with Dustin Poirier and Daniel Cormier, safe to say, Lafayette, Louisiana has made a pretty good UFC football. I love Dustin Poirier. And now our tail of the tape for this lightweight scrap. All right, now for the particulars, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, presenting the former UFC featherweight champion of the world and the former UFC lightweight champion of the world, the notorious Conor McGregor! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Dustin the Diamond Poirier!
You ready to fight? Ready.
All right, it's the rarest of rarities, and tonight it involves 2 of the biggest stars in the game. A 4th meeting between Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor. McGregor's leg is fixed, and we'll see if Poirier chooses to attack that lower than early team.
Conor McGregor still believes, even though he's been on the wrong end of the last 2 fights, that he is the better mixed martial artist. He just thinks that he can beat Dustin Poirier. Dustin has proven to not only himself, but to the world that he can conquer Conor McGregor. In fight 2 in Abu Dhabi, he looked tremendous. Fight 3, obviously broke his leg, but looked good up to that point. How does fight number 4 play out between these 2 tremendous mixed martial artists?
All right, so Dustin Poirier getting off to a pretty good start tonight, and all driven by that straight left hand.
Yeah, you know, Dustin Poirier is a right-handed guy, so he's pawing at you with the right jab, and then boom, he drops that right hand. We have seen him put some of the best fighters in the world on their back with that straight left hand. Good to see that Dustin Poirier is landing it early in this fight tonight.
So 28 total strikes have now landed for Conor McGregor.
Oh, tag. Great combination to the head.
Beautiful combination there. If you are teaching an up-and-coming fighter about throwing, he's rocked.
That was a beautiful hook. It landed perfectly, and it hurt his opponent very bad.
Big knee there.
Oh,
shots being landed on both sides. All right, so an opportunity goes by the boards. He had him stunned, nearly finished, and now his opponent has recovered.
His opponent recovers. Back and forth we go. These two guys are trading huge shots.
Oh, he's wobbled now.
This is such a crazy fight. Game of inches right there, boy. Wow. It was good night if that landed.
Poirier's nose is bleeding now. On that punch right there, his opponent's compromised, DC.
It's one thing to land a hard shot. It's another thing completely to land a perfect shot. And that was a perfect shot.
Well, he was setting up the hooks early and often tonight. Watch for him to try to set it up again here. Poirier gets the takedown now, so a nice level change after he had gotten stunned on the feet. McGregor gets up, he is back on the feet. Looked like he was in a submissive state on the ground, but he worked hard there to get back to the feet. Round two next. All right, so the round is over, and you see the cut man not wasting any time as the fighter makes his way back to the stool. The cut man will try to shut that cut on the bridge of his nose and prevent it from becoming a factor here moving forward. All right, so there's the end of the round, and on one side, thrill, on the other, agony after that knockdown.
Yeah, he was able to really damage him with that big punch. You see the hands, the speed, how sharp he is, how technical he is. It allows him to land in spots where his opponent is winging punches. Great strike landed, great punch landed to put his opponent down.
All right, here we go. Round two, folks. Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor. All right, so after one of the more entertaining rounds in recent UFC history, our next round is upon us. Man, those guys both took some serious damage in that previous round.
They both took some damage, but they both gave it. They both gave it as well as they took it. Let's see who wilts and goes down first.
Well, you see Conor McGregor land the left hand and then move out of harm's way.
You don't understand. After you take a head kick like this, that is such toughness to even be on his feet right now.
For sure. Herb Dean steps in.
Oh, my goodness.
What a fight. Make the bad man stop. A nice stoppage win for him here tonight. And the other side just couldn't handle the incoming assault. A flurry of punches, most of them upstairs. And when those big shots land repeatedly, the referee has no choice but to step in and call the fight. We send it inside the octagon. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 8 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by TKO, the notorious Conor McGregor!
So what a moment for the biggest superstar this sport has ever seen. Conor McGregor, your winner.